Hello everyone, today I decided to make a video to tell you about my Erasmus. Indeed, in February 2021, I went to Spain for 6 months to Málaga. As I have very good memories of it, I wanted to share the experience, and I will mainly tell you about the things I saw and did, so take note for your future travel and enjoy. For information, the Erasmus program is a university exchange program between European countries, which takes its full name from a man who traveled across Europe at a time when traveling was not common. This man was Erasmus, so you can easily guess where the name of the program came from. So to begin with, you should know that I took the steps a year before leaving when my university, the University of Évry-Paris-Saclay, offered students the possibility of leaving. I decided to try my luck, and after detailing my motivation, I was selected. Then I had a year to prepare for my departure, which was very useful since we don't think about it, but a trip of this size requires a lot of preparation. Indeed, there are lots of documents to be given and completed, like insurance, housing, or registration at the host university. It's not very complicated in itself, but it still requires a certain amount of organization and it avoids stress. Yes, because I'm not going to lie to you, although the excitement was there, so was the stress and anxiety. I was only 20 years old at the time, and it was the first time I had gone to a foreign country alone and for such a long period. So once my registration was completed, I mainly focused on finding housing. Fortunately, I didn't live alone. A friend had also been selected, which meant that we decided to share a room together. I also recommend that you either share a flat or find a housing with a local if you decide to do an Erasmus. Personally, we found housing a few days before departure, not very far from the center, the beach, and the university. Because yes, even if the Erasmus students have a reputation for partying, which I wouldn't deny, we went there above all for the studies. Discovering the world in this way and forcing yourself to speak a foreign language with the locals is a unique experience. It's also the best way to improve in a foreign language. It's actually the memory that left the biggest impression on me. Indeed, when I was in Málaga, I met so many people of different nationalities that I had the impression that this experience made me evolve, whether in my maturity, in my autonomy, or in my culture of other countries. So, for my part, I took the plane at the beginning of February. Málaga is quite well connected, so even though the airport is not close to the city, you can easily get there. The train station is right at the exit, or taxis await you for a pittance, unlike in Paris. This is actually something that shocked me when I arrived, to see that life in Spain was much cheaper than in France. I would like to point out that my experience could be a little different than others, since if you remember, February 2021 was the COVID period. So, just like France, which was confined, Spain had also taken necessary measures. For example, we had to wear masks and a curfew was established. In addition, all my classes were remote at that time. By the way, for the classes taken, we had the possibility of choosing them ourselves as long as they were in line with our studies. For my part, it was translation classes. This helped me enjoy my trip since I had chosen classes that only took place in the morning. So I had all my afternoon to visit the city and the surrounding area or to go to the beach. I also advise you to take plenty of sunscreen because Málaga is in Andalusia, so it's very hot there. I actually went swimming only 3 days after landing. The beach is an artificial beach, but it is ideal for having fun, swimming, or sunbathing. In my free times, I went out a lot, but for the sake of manner, I wouldn't describe everything, but many bars were new and had prices for Erasmus students. It's also these places that allow you to meet and share memories with others. It's actually funny to see that even though we were in Spain, many didn't speak the language, and so we communicated in English. In Málaga, I was able to visit incredible places even just in the city. For example, in Málaga there is the Pompidou Center, which adorns the Port Square and which attracts us with its color. From the outside we see a giant cube, but the museum is really interesting. You can sometimes find a market there, but I don't remember exactly the day when it's there. Concerning the port, it is very large and an alley borders it with a lot of restaurants. It's very nice to eat there when the sun goes down and you hear the sound of the wave. You should know that many activities such as museum or the castle are free on Sundays. This allowed me to visit the Roman Theatre of Málaga. For the record, it would have been built in the 1st century under the empire of Augustus and served until the 3rd century before disappearing into oblivion. It was only rediscovered in 1951. Since then, you can see it while walking down the street near the Alcazaba or go inside to visit it. Speaking of the Alcazaba, it is one of the best preserved fortresses in Spain. But be careful for this, will risk it, you have to be sporty. On the other hand, it was the detour. If only for his Arab Muslim style building, its history, but also for the incredible view. From up there, we have an overview of Málaga and you can even see the port. At night, the street and path leading to the castle were crowded with people as the night view was breathtaking. Many student parties took place there. But it's not the only one because there are also plenty of high places in Málaga that overlook the city, and I'm thinking in particular of Monte Victoria, which offers us a sunset that I will never forget. If you ever want to get there, take good shoes. A taxi or Uber can get you closer, but it won't go all the way to the top. It was also a very well-known meeting point, whether for the locals or foreign students. It was there that I met most of the people who shared this experience with me. An experience that allowed me to discover new cultures. I'm thinking right now of the dinner we organized once where everyone had to bring back a specialty from their country. I have very good memory of it, and it was the first time I tasted pierogies, a Polish specialty. Then I visited a very well-known place in Málaga, which is the Botanical Garden. Personally, I have never felt as good as being there. We breathed fresh air and we were surrounded by nature. Created in 1885 by the Marquis of the Lewin House, there are more of 50,000 plants, 2,000 tropical, subtropical and indigenous species, including more than 100 different species of palm trees, bamboos, aquatic plants, and of course its historic garden. I mainly remember the bamboo forest, its temple, the numerous waterways with its Nympheum basin with its statue and this more recognized kiosk. There is also a pool which should delight series fans. In fact, it was used for filming for the series The Crown. For my part, I remember this magnificent and cute turtle which swam there. Look how cute she is with her little pink nose. She is really cute. But Málaga is not the only city you can visit. For example, you have Seville, which unfortunately I was unable to visit, but also Granada with its cathedral and its famous Alhambra. The Alhambra is the most majestic medieval acropolis in Europe according to some in Arab Muslim architecture. You should know that Arab culture inspired Andalusia in general. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's one of the most beautiful castles I've seen. Afterward, I haven't traveled much, so my opinion could change later. But for example, you can see in the picture the beauty of the architecture. Throughout the palace, there are numerous pools of water where the sun is reflected. Outside the palace, there is a huge park with a lot of greenery, which makes the place magical and colorful. On our by bus, I recommend the Camino del Rey experience in the town of Ardales. This route through valleys and canyons are long been considered the most dangerous in Europe, but don't worry, we give you protection before. For my part, I love its valleys where we could see its characteristic blue water and its suspended footbridge. Several Jurassic fossil footprints are visible, but if this period interests you, you absolutely must go to Antequera. Antequera is a town with an incredible legend which gives its name to the hill that can be seen, La Peña de los Enamorados. In the picture, we can almost see a man's face looking towards the skies. Legend tells that two lovers in a forbidden relationship go to the mountain and to never be separated through themselves of the mountain. Nature would have listened to their prayer and transformed the man into stone and the woman into a rain so they would never stop meeting. But that's not the only interesting thing to see in Antequera. I'm obviously talking about Altorcal, a natural space whose origins date back to the Jurassic period with its unique rocks. When I went there, they explained to me that this place was previously submerged into the sea and that erosion pushed them towards the surface in this shape. This is why you can find ammonite fossils if you are lucky. There are also many animals and fauna species there, and I know that they are in astronomical observatory, but I have not visited. Unfortunately, I can't describe everything to you in this video and show you all the incredible places in the city, but I didn't want to leave you without talking about Nera, a small village accessible by bus, and if I remember it was 1 hour, where you can book a paddle or kayak and go on an adventure. And if you know it, and now you know it, you can come across many waterfalls, the most famous and spectacular being the Maro waterfalls. It arises from the caves of Nera, passing through the Sanguino stream, also called Campeyo stream. Be careful though, during the warmer months the water can evaporate and then you will not see it. I said so because I remember it was my case when my parents came to see me. But the white walled city and its superb beaches as well as the balcony of Europe are well worth the detour. The balcony of Europe is a small veranda opening into a cliff in the city overlooking magnificent turquoise water. There is so much more to say about this trip and the activities I did, but I would also like to tell you about the food. Spain in general is known for its Mediterranean style food with seafood and shared tapas. For instance, a restaurant in which I have eaten a lot is La Casa Lola, which specializes in tapas. Look at how beautiful it is. I can also tell you that these are the best patata bravas I had during my Erasmus. Other restaurants do it, but La Casa Lola was very famous for Erasmus and there were a total of 3 in the city. Then we have Cien Montaditos, a second tapas restaurant but which had the particularity of putting everything at €1 on Wednesday and Sunday. This is an address to know if you ever go to Málaga and you don't have the means to eat out. For a little quicker meals, I remember eating very good burger at the TGB, where the Blue Mountain will have my head forever. Obviously, they do tapas and other dishes, but I personally only went there to eat hamburgers. You can find 2 in the city, one on the port and another in the center, so it's quite practical if you don't want to walk around the entire city. If you also want to taste the classic Spanish dish, the famous paella, I can only recommend booking a table at the Gastronota. I'm not afraid to say it, but it really is the best paella I've eaten. The restaurant is run by locals, it's quite hidden and small, but the paella is incredible. For this we don't like it, you can obviously choose another dish, but it's definitely worth it. Malaga is a beautiful city where sun is always here and even the streets are colorful. It's not surprising to see art on the wall of building. Sometimes a street might be recovered entirely by art, like here where you can see face of people or mix of elements. There are also a lot of places like La Plaza de la Merced near the Picasso house where the flowers are purple and it's handsome with the sun. In the corner you can maybe recognize the statue of Picasso. I repeat myself, but I have very good memory of my Erasmus and everything I did and visited. I used to visit Malaga every year since and I can't wait to go back there. Unfortunately, I can't tell you everything in this video, so you need to discover the surprise of the city too. I'm going to stop there and let you enjoy the last picture of my trip. Thank you for listening to me and enjoy your maybe future trip.